We consume tons of information, read books, watch YouTube videos, follow TikTok influencers who share their secrets to success, and even pay for various courses, right? Despite all this, we often feel more anxious and still can't imagine our daily lives effectively. So what's going wrong? I used to be someone who rushed through tasks, hoping to get them done as quickly as possible. I planned to finish a book in 3 days, setting daily page goals. I created detailed schedules for projects to ensure each phase was completed on time. Sounds like a productive habit, right? But unfortunately, it was the opposite. Under such pressure, I couldn't accomplish much. By the third day, I would only have read about a third of the book. Why couldn't I complete my task? Why was my efficiency so low? I'd get angry with myself and the books, leading me to abandon reading altogether. This pattern wasn't limited to reading. It extended to exercising, learning languages, and even refining my cooking skills. My plans and anxiety destroyed my desire to continue. The knowledge I wanted to remember was forgotten. I lost my confidence and became an very angry, anxious, and defeated person. I began to reflect on what caused this change. I examined my reading habits, lifestyles, nature of work, and physical health to understand where things went wrong. Social media. My problem can be tracked back to 2016 when I became addicted to social media. I spent over 8 hours a day on my phone, scrolling through post after post. I watched influencers showcasing their glamorous, exciting lives day after day, or laughed at jokes that I didn't really care about. My smartphone had hijacked my mind. The social media gurus, whether it's a woman who lost a significant amount of weight in a month or someone who gained 1 million followers in 3 days, made it look easy. I could watch their posts or videos in just a few minutes and see months, even years condensed. I would even fantasize that after this few minutes watching, I could achieve the same success. If your situation is similar to mine, you might need to consider whether we are too fixated on the satisfaction that comes from these fleeting interactions. So, what's the solution? You might be eager for me to offer a quick fix right now, but ask yourself like this. Can you really retain everything instantly? Or would understanding the principles behind the method help you remember and apply it better? Our brains don't operate like computers. Computers store whatever input they receive through electrical signals accurately and precisely. But our brains, however, use a chemical process involving neuron synapses to form memories, meaning our recall is not as sharp and we often forget things unless they are repeated. But this doesn't mean our brains are inferior to computers or AI. Unlike a simple pass, the binary relay of neural pathways can adjust the flow of information, which is the essence of thinking. Facing and accepting forgetfulness is the first step towards enhancing our ability to learn and remember. The blurry quality of our memory is crucial. It helps us eliminate errors and retain only the correct outcomes, adapting to unforeseen natural or social changes. Even if computers are incredibly accurate and error-free, they lack flexibility. In a do-or-die situation like not eating could lead to death, our brains can utilize their blurry memory to recall alternative survival strategies, like foods that don't require regular consumption to sustain life. Though our memories are imprecise, this blur has real significance for survival. Therefore, to find the right answers, we must go through a process of trial and error, reflecting on why we failed and adjusting our strategies accordingly. This circle is inevitable. The thinking prompt by our blurry memories is essential, and it's only through thinking that we can continually uncover deeper principles. We must recognize that our brains are better suited for making connections, diverting, and thinking, rather than for precise memory or high-speed calculations. To improve our memory efficiency, the first step is to understand, acknowledge, and embrace the inherent blur and slowness of our brains. Then we can tailor our methods to better suit its natural tendencies and strengths. If you want to understand something, don't look too far afield. Gossip. What's the secret to learning faster? It's simple. Realistically assess that our brains need a gradual, step-by-step approach to learning, breaking down the steps into learning, memorizing, and reviewing. Neuroscientists from the University of Tokyo suggest in the neuroscience of exams that learning is essentially the process of linking things together. It's hard to remember two and related things at once, so breaking down the learning process can help. For example, if someone starts learning soccer by attempting complex moves like bicycle kicks right away, it will likely take them a long time to master, and they might even get injured. Their skills wouldn't improve for months, and they might even start to dislike playing and give up. Our process for quick memorization works the same way. If what we are trying to remember is difficult, it's because there's little in our brains that it can connect with, making it hard to grasp. So, isn't the solution simple? In Eastern terms, it's about using slowness to promote speed. If we start with simple concepts and thoroughly review them before moving to slightly more challenging materials, this chain reaction memory process allows our brains to form connections with difficult content faster than before. As we continue this approach, forming more and more connected memories, not only do we have more confidence, but we also learn faster. We suffer from anxiety, forgetfulness, distractions by social media, and urge to check our phones every 2 minutes, right? Knowing the answer isn't enough. We need to act to remodel our brains and correct the bad habits we've developed. Our brains remember not only the facts, but also how to understand those facts. Then use this understanding to discover underlying patterns, enabling us to comprehend other subjects faster and more deeply. The higher level of our learning, the better transfer effects, meaning the more we remember, the brighter our brains become. Unlike computers, which tend to multifunction with increased use, our brains perform better the more they are used. Yes, our brains are incredibly adaptable. Although there are countless scientific experiments and papers prospering various methods like meditation, physical exercise, and concentration training, none of this will stick if they are not governed by a fundamental principle. Today, I want to share a method that draws from ancient Chinese wisdom. Change your heart and put knowledge into practice. First one, heart is reason. Actively engage your brain when learning. Approach it with a positive attitude and maintain perseverance over the long time. An experiment involving rats' whiskers demonstrated this concept beautifully. When rats used their whiskers to touch objects, their brain activity was recorded. Rats sometimes wait passively, but when they actively used their whiskers, their brain activity was 10 times higher, suggesting that the brain prioritizes information it actively seeks. If attitude is passive, the learning impact on brain is significantly reduced. Indeed, a proactive, positive attitude naturally leads us to more effective learning strategies. Have you ever noticed that how hard it is to remember something from a book, but when you engage in an activity, like solving problems or conducting an experiment, it becomes clear and memorable? Our memories deepen significantly when they are linked to experiences. When you need to recall this knowledge later, it's not just the theory you remember, but the experience and methodology, making it easier to apply this method to new situations. Yes, the second step is to apply it and to connect it with your life, thereby fostering a mode of thinking. The professor Yuki Ikegaya from Tokyo University, in his neuroscience writings, mentioned that memory can be divided into 3 types: procedural memory, declarative memory, and experiential memory. The more fundamental the memory, the more essential it is for survival, with some researchers suggesting that only humans possess high-level, the experiential memory. The memories that come easily to us are those we participate in. Experiential memory, like the look of our school, romantic experiences, or a particular trip. The ones that are hard to recall are pure knowledge memories, like the full name of a medieval knight or the name of some remote island. Do you see? It's hard to recall things that aren't closely linked to our daily life because they lack the necessary cues that connect with our daily scenarios. Therefore, connection and imagination are crucial, and it's best to combine combine this with our practical experience memories. The more our experiences and memories are linked, the closer they are to experiential memories, and the better the effect. This aligns with memory palace technique, commonly discussed in memory training, indicating that the strategies based on the nature of memory are fundamentally similar. Sharing knowledge with others, simulating auditory and multifaceted memory. These techniques enhance our connection to real-life scenarios. When we explain a concept to someone else, organizing it logically deepens our understanding and memory. When we teach it to someone, we created a real-life experience that embeds the content in our experiential memory. What if you could become a genius? That requires the next method I'll discuss. As we mentioned, ordinary memory of knowledge through association can be transformed into experiential memory. Similar, we can rapidly simulate our memory of knowledge, converting it into procedural memory. Look, when you haven't ridden a bike for years and suddenly decide to ride one, you don't need to recall how to pedal or balance, right? Your body naturally knows how to do. This is because our body remembers how to write, a form of procedural memory. Athletes often talk about the muscle memory. It's the same one. Professor Yuki Ikegaya refers to it as magical memory, while the declarative, the knowledge and experiential memory can be thought of what is. Procedural memory is how to. It's developed through repeated practice, understanding the underlying logic and principles of actions and applying them broadly across different situations. Like 12 times 12, 56 times 23. The computations are endless, and we can't possibly memorize them all. But once we grasp the rules of arithmetic operations, we can compute any results using these rules. Learning and memory are processes that elevate to higher stages of memory. The closer our method aligns with biological survival instincts, the faster and the more effectively we learn. Regardless, the process of efficient learning and memory cannot be separated from recognition and practice. We recognize the characteristics of learning and thinking in this review, a transition from fragmented to systematic and method transfer. At the same time, it also requires frequent application in practices, forming a life experience, a kind of instinctual thinking. Okay, well done. After watching this video, we may not become memory geniuses, but I hope it encourages not to be swayed by public opinion in the era of AI and to truly understand the significance of human growth and thought. Bye.